Hello, everybody. Welcome to the next game in the Cincinnati Reds replay 1990 on History Maker Baseball. This is the final game of the 8-game road trip, the last a quick 2-game series in Pittsburgh. When we last left off, the previous game, the Reds pounded Jack Armstrong and the Reds by the score of 8-3. So Cincinnati's going to be looking to get back in the winning direction here. Cincinnati now is 16-8 on the season, and they carry a 1-game losing streak into this ball game. But they've got their streak stopper, Jose Rijo, on the mound, and that's usually who they turn to when they need a big win, and Jose Rijo is their man that they've turned to again. And he'll be facing Randy Kramer, a right-hander from the Pirates. Don't know much about him, but he's on the mound for the Pirates. Hello, Philip. A little parched here, so gotta wet the whistle, and we will get this game underway. These are the starting lineups before we do our game day checks. They're subject to change based on game day checks, but it's going to be Sabo at third, Winningham in center, Larkin at short, Benziger at first, O'Neill in right, Duncan at second, Hatcher in left, Oliver catching, and Rijo the pitcher. For the Pirates, it's going to be Backman at third, Jay Bell at short, Van Slyke center, Bonilla in right, Bonds in left, Bream at first, Slot the catcher, Leaned at second, and Kramer on the mound. Tabby is on the other side of the door. She's on her little window perch right out in the hallway. Got the window open. She's enjoying that fresh air and probably doesn't want me to disturb her. Van Slyke is the hot batter based on the previous game, and Bonds is the cold batter. Sabo is the cold batter, and Larkin is the hot batter based again on the May 9th game where the Pirates won it 8-3. Now, we go our game day checks. This could totally change. We could get an injury or who knows what. So, since the Reds lost that last game, they got a 1-game losing streak. We're going to roll the D6. If it's a 1, they'll be fully dissonant. If it's a 2 or higher, we go to the decider die to determine their fate. It's a 5, so decider die. Are the Reds ready to get back on their winning ways? No, they are not. So they're going to be semi-dissonant, and they will be off the stormy chart. Now, they do carry from the previous game. A carryover will be that Dibble is happy until further notice. That will not change because there's nothing to bump him off of that. And now we will go to the stormy chart and find out what new things might be happening to the Reds. We're on 6. That's a possible injury, so there you go. The starting lineup could very well change right now because we're going to the injury chart. Game day injuries. When you roll a 6, you go to the game day injuries. So now we roll and see who's going to be affected. It's a 4, and it says an infielder. Which player is hurt? An infielder. Which infielder? The DH, no injury if no DH. Okay, we don't have a DH, so there's no injury. So the Reds escape injury because there is no DH, of course, in the National League. So the Reds do escape that. No one will be injured. So we're just going to move on, and they will be semi-dissonant as far as chemistry, while the Pirates by default are neutral. Hello, Captain Carl and Chuck. Good to see all of you. Thomas, good to see you as well. We are ready for this ball game. Reds and the Pirates. Last thing to check on, well, a couple things really. The ballpark, Three River Stadium, plays big to both lefties and righties. Umpires for this game, Bob Davidson is behind the plate. Ed Montague is at first. Jim Quick is at second. And Charlie Williams will be your third base umpire. Let me go to the Stratomatic computer and get the updated stats for the Reds so I can let you know how they're doing. I'm not going to score the game. I'll score it after the fact. So I don't want to get bogged down by scoring it as I'm playing it and trying to stream at the same time. It's a little confusing. So let's just go to Cincinnati, because I'm not worried about Pittsburgh stats or anything like that. We're just looking at Cincinnati stats. All right, I think we're back. Can somebody confirm that we are back? I think we are back now, if I'm not mistaken. Hopefully the technical difficulties are behind us. So we are going to be getting going here. Yes, we are back. Thank you. Okay. Leading off will be Chris Sabo for the Reds. And I'll get the numbers for you for Sabo in the replay. He is a designated coal batter, by the way, because he's been struggling as of late. On the replay for Cincinnati, Chris Sabo, despite his struggles, he is still hitting. Oh, I'm in the wrong league. Hold on. Let me get back to my 90. I was in 87 for some strange reason. Don't know what caused me to go there, but let's fix this. There we go. Chris Sabo, despite his bad hitting here lately, is still hitting 287, a homer and 7 driven in. And we're underway. Randy Kramer's a workman, semi-flash with semi-control. And we're at a 5.56. 5.56. Is the pitcher an ace? No, he's not. Is the batter a sad sack? No, it's going to be a double. A double for Chris Sabo. Active with steal, but the desired die was not with him in that particular case. It was a blank. But Chris Sabo does lead off the game with a double. Let's move these out of the way. We don't need these things here. Chris Sabo does lead off the game with a double. Quite the start. And due up now for the Reds will be Herm Wingham getting a rare start. He's usually a pinch hitter, but he's getting a start today or tonight, depending on, I think it's a night game, not sure off the top of my head. But he will get the start in center field in this one. And on the replay, he's only hitting 150. He's 3 out of 20. 1 homer and 3 runs driven in. Whoa, we got Suadice. Let's re-roll that. We get a 2-3-4. That is runners on base. Yes, there are. So that means we have plate drama for the Pirates. Plate drama for the Pirates. Catcher slot is neutral in his defense. So it's a 1-4 on plate drama. Plate drama on a 1-4. Ask if it's the control pitcher. Kramer has semi-control, but the dot says no, so it's not a control pitch. If it was, it'd be a strike. Otherwise, it's a wild pitch. So we got a wild pitch. It's going to send Sabo to third base with nobody out as Kramer uncorks the wild pitch. Infield is back early on 1-4-4 for Kramer as we're back to the main chart. 1-4-4 is the flash check. He's got semi-flash. The dot says he has flash, so it's a strikeout, but we do have the goggles. And when you have the goggles on a 1-4-4 strikeout, a questionable or leaning umpire calls ball 4. Home plate umpire is Bob Davidson. He is questionable, so that strikeout now has turned into a walk. So Bob Davidson squeezing Kramer at the plate, and Jim Leland's not too happy about it, but you can't argue balls and strikes or you get tossed. So with that in mind, he'll sit back down. Here's Barry Larkin. Larkin is hitting 340, 35 out of 103, no homers, 12 runs driven in. That's a 1-4-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No, it's going to be a ground ball to third, and that's going to be a double play with a lead die of 1, but Sabo will score. So no RBI given, but it does clear the bases. Pirates trade that run for the 2 outs. It's going to be a 5-4-3 around the horn double play. Sabo will score. Reds lead 1-0, but now the bases are clear. No RBI given. Here's Todd Benzinger. Benzinger is hitting .281, 3 homers and 14 driven in. That's 2-3-4. Nobody's on base now. Is he a hot batter? Benzinger is not a hot batter, so he's going to pop it up to third, and that's going to end the inning. But the Reds do pick up a run here in the first. They were looking for more, but they'll have to settle for one. We go to the bottom of the first here on this May 10th evening in Pittsburgh. Score Cincinnati 1, Pittsburgh coming to bat. And Jose Rijo, your pitcher on the mound. I'll go over his numbers again. He has had 4 starts. He's won them all. He's 4-0 with a 1.93 earned run average. 28 innings pitched, 25 hits, 10 walks, and 29 strikeouts. So thank you, Dav, Larry, Philip, Ernest, Chuck, Captain Carl, all you guys for hanging tight. And here is Backman to lead off against Rijo. 1-4-4. Same thing again. We have that flash check. But again, the Davidson, the questionable umpire, is going to turn that into a walk. That's the second time. So now Bob Davidson has done it to both sides. And now Lou Pinella's not happy. But he's consistently wild in the strike zone, making those calls. So I guess, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. Here's Jay Bell. That's a 1-2-5. He's not a struggler. Is Jay Bell patient? No, he's not patient. He will ground to second. Ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. The dot says he's a whiffer. So instead of hitting into a double play, he will simply strike out for out number 1. And that'll bring up Mr. Van Slyke. 3-5-5 for Van Slyke. Rijo's not a struggler. Is Van Slyke a champion? No, he's not. So he will ground to second unless he is a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. The dot says he is, so another strikeout for Rijo. And there's 2 away. Backman remains at first base. That'll bring up Bobby Bowe, right fielder. 1-4-6. Does pitcher have flash? Yes, Rijo does have flash. It's going to be a strikeout. So Rijo strikes out the side after walking the leadoff man. He comes back to strike out the side to end the inning. So at the end of 1, it is Cincinnati 1 and Pittsburgh nothing from Three Rivers Stadium. Reds go back home after this game and start a homestand against the Cubs. And then they'll also be facing the Cardinals and Pirates as they come into Riverfront. But the Cubs will be the first task when they get back home. They'll be facing the Cubs. All right, coming up now for the Reds, it'll be Paul O'Neill. O'Neill on the replay is hitting .313, 26 out of 83, 2 homers, 15 driven in. 1-2-5. Pitcher is not a struggler. He's a workman, but not a struggler. Is he patient? No, he's not patient. He will ground to third unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi. Doc gives it to him, so it's going to be a strikeout. So O'Neill whiffs 1 away. Brings up Mariano Duncan. He is leading the Reds in hitting at .414, 36 out of 87, 2 homers, 13 runs driven in. It's a 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's not. Batter a home run king? No, he's not a home run king. So he will fly to left, and that is out number 2. For Billy Hatcher. Hatcher on the replay is hitting .280, which is 26 out of 93. 4 homers, 16 driven in. 4-6-6. Does the pitcher have control? He's got semi-control. Dot says he does. So that's going to be a pitch that is read by the batter, and it's a single to left field. So Billy Hatcher reads the pitch well and strokes a single to left field, a 2-out single for Hatcher. And that'll send it over to Joe Oliver. Oliver, one of the few Reds that aren't hitting. He's only hitting a .175, 11 out of 63, no homers and 7 driven in. That's a 3-4-5. We're looking at an iron catcher, which he is not. Slot is neutral. Oliver does not have the good eye, so he will strike out to end the inning, and that result is in blue, so we're going to the right now chart to start the bottom of the second. for Barry Bonds, who happens to be the designated cold batter of the game. Rijo will be semi-hot because he struck out Bonilla his last time up. So we got a semi-hot pitcher against a cold batter on the right now chart. Let's see if Rijo is going to be hot. He will not. It's a neutral pitcher against a cold batter. And that's a 2-4. 2-4, hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. If he was, he'd bloop a single. Otherwise, he flies to left field. So Bonds will fly to left, one away. And that'll bring up Sid Bream. First baseman Sid Bream. That is a 1-4-4. Same thing again. We got the flash check, but the umpire Davidson's being questionable is going to make it another walk. So Bob Davidson definitely having an impact on this game with his strike zone. And that'll bring up Don Slaught. So Bream is at first with the walk. Here's Don Slaught. That's a 1-1-2. 1-1-2 asks us to pitcher have flash. Yes, he does. It's going to be a strikeout. Slaught out on strikes. That's strikeout number 4 for Jose Rijo. Strikeout number 4. And they'll send up Jose Leaned. 2-2-5. This pitcher a star. No, he's a semi-ace, but not a star. Slugger or sad sack. Neither one for Lean. So he's going to get a single to center field. And lead die of 2. It's just a one base advancement, even with 2 outs. So Bream will stop at second. 2 are on with 2 outs. But we're coming up to the pitcher, Kramer. So Kramer is going to bat. So Rijo with a chance to get out of it. 3-6-6. Kramer he's not a pinch hitter, obviously. He's the pitcher. So he will fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Bucks. We play 2 here in Pittsburgh, and it is Cincinnati 1 and Pittsburgh nothing. And speaking of pitchers, Jose Rijo will lead off the top of the third. See what he can do. That's a 2-3-6 double control. He doesn't have it, but Rijo is eager, so that's a 2-ball count. It will not be a walk. That's not in the rules. That's my house rule. If he's an eager batter, he will not walk. It's simply a 2-ball count. 2-4-6. Control pitcher. He's got semi, but the dot says no. Eager or sad sack. He is eager. He's also a semi-sad sack, but he is eager, so that's going to be a pop out to third. So Rijo pops it up to Backman at third base, 1 down, and back to the top of the order for Chris Sabo. He doubled and scored his first time up. 1-2-4, control pitcher. He's got semi. This time he gets it. It's a ground ball to short. So 2 away. And that will bring up Herm Winningham. 1-2-2. Is he a workman pitcher? Yes, he is. It's going to be a single to center field. So a single by Winningham. 2-out single to Winningham. And that will send up Barry Larkin. Larkin, 2-5-5. Is the pitcher a star? No. Is Larkin a home run king? No, he's a semi-scrapper. He will fly to left, and that's going to end the inning. Nothing doing for the Reds. So we go to the bottom of the third. It is still Cincinnati 1 and Pittsburgh nothing from Three River Stadium. And hello, Mr. Robert. Good to see you. All right. Wally Backman, top of the order for the Bucks. Backman walked his first time up. That's a 2-4-6. That's control. And Rijo's got semi-control, but the dot gives it to him. So it's a ground ball right back to the box, and Rijo will throw to first for the easy out. 1 away. It's going to bring up Jay Bell. Bell struck out his first chance. Sad sack earnest, that goes to batting average. I don't have it in front of me, but sad sack generally means they got a batting average around 230 or so. It's all based on batting average. Sad sack and utility are low batting average players, whereas hero and champion are higher. Like hero is like a 280 to 300 hitter. Champion's like over 300 hitter. So when you talk about sad sack and utility, that's like the Mendoza line kind of thing. All right, so Jay Bell, your batter. 166. He's not, the pitcher is not a workman. Is Jay Bell a whiffer? He's a semi-whiffer. The dot gives it to him, so it's another strikeout for Rijo. That is strikeout number 5. Strikeout number 5, and now Van Slyke, your batter. That's a 225. Is he a star? No, he's not a star. He's a semi-ace, but not a star. Slugger or sad sack for Van Slyke. He is a slugger. And that means he's going to pop out to right field unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer, but the dot says no. So it's just going to be a shallow pop to right field, and it's an easy 1, 2, 3 inning for Jose Rijo. We played 3 here in Pittsburgh. It's still 1-0 favor of the Reds. And now that we're in the 4th inning, both pitchers revert to semi-freshness. They will need the dot to come up to stay fresh. Here's Benzinger. 3-4-4. Is the pitcher a prospect? He's a semi-prospect, but the dot says no. Is the batter patient? Benzinger is actually eager. He's not patient, so instead of drawing a walk, he will pop it up to second. A little over-anxious, and there's one away. Couldn't wait out that walk, so he swung early and ends up popping out. Here's O'Neill. 3-5-6, that's a left-right split chance, and he's a lefty batter against a righty hitter, so that's a base hit. That's the only place in the game where the left-right splits come in. It's 3-5-6. And O'Neill took advantage of it, gets himself a 1-out single. Here's Mariano Duncan. That's a 3-4-4. He's not a prospect pitcher. Is the batter patient? No, he's not. So he's going to pop it up to second just like Benzinger did. So 2 away for Billy Hatcher. Hatcher singled his first time up. 2-4-6. That's a control check on the pitcher. Kramer semi-control, but dot says no. Eager or sad sack. Hatcher is semi-eager. We've already used the decider on Kramer, so we got to re-roll it to see if he's eager in this at bat. He is not, so he's not going to be eager. So since he's not eager, he will draw the walk. He will draw the walk. That's going to put runners at first and second. Talks about a active runner would steal, but he's got O'Neill in front of him, so he can't steal. But it's 2 on, 2 out for Joe Oliver, the slumping Joe Oliver. 3-5-5. Struggling pitcher, no. Is the batter a champion? No, he's definitely not a champion. He's going to ground to second unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. Dot is a no, so it's just going to be a ground ball to second. And that's going to end the inning. So nothing for the Reds here. We go to the bottom of the 4th. They leave O'Neill and Hatcher on the bases. We go to the bottom of the 4th, still 1-0. And Bobby Bowe will lead things off. That's a 2-4-6. That's a control check. Rijo has it. He does not need the decider. Oh, he does need the decider. He didn't get it. He's semi. The dot's a blank. So go over here. Eager or sad sack. He is semi-eager. We got to re-roll the decider because it was already used here. So if we get the dot, he's going to be eager. A dot means that in this at bat, Bonilla was eager. And he is. So instead of drawing a walk, he's going to pop it up to third because he was over anxious in that at bat. Some other bats he might not have been in. He's on the borderline being eager, so that's why the dot is there. It covers the borderline issues, the 50-50 issues, and the dot takes care of the situation. Here's Bonds. 2-3-6 double control. He doesn't have it, and Bonds is not eager, so he will draw the walk. So Barry Bonds will draw the walk. He's an active base runner, so we're going to try to get the steal. And the first thing we got to do is see if he gets the lead. To get the lead, you need the dot. He does get the lead, so he's going to go. So to determine steals in this game, you come right over here, attempted stolen base. The catcher in this case is normal. He's not iron, he's not gold. So to steal second, a 1 to 4, he's going to be safe because of a normal catcher. If the catcher was gold, it would drop to a 1 to 3. If he was iron, it proved a 1 to 5. But Oliver's normal, so it's a 1 to 4. A 1 to 4 and a successful stolen base. And he's out. So how about that? They throw Barry Bonds out. Joe Oliver says, don't you come around here no more with that stuff. Throws him out. Larkin puts on the tag. That is out number 2. Bonds not happy. Leland throws up his hands in disgust. And now with 2 outs and the bases empty, Sid Bream, 4.66. Does he have control? He's a control pitcher, semi, but the dot says no. Is the batter a home run king or a slugger? He is a slugger, which means he's going to strike out. And that is strikeout number 6 for Rijo through 4 innings, as he is shutting out Pittsburgh 1-0 here at Three River Stadium. And actually, Kramer doing quite well for himself on the other side of the equation, but he's not getting any run support to back him up. So here's Rijo to lead off the 5th. 2-4-4. That is a pitching at home, and yet, I'm sorry, 2-4-4 is not pitching him. 2-4-4 is the ace. No, he's not an ace. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. He's going to ground to short unless he's a whiffer. He does not list as a whiffer on here, so he's not a whiffer, so it's just going to be a ground ball to short. So Rijo must have been good at making contact and not striking out. So won't be a strikeout, just a ground out, 1 away. And here's Spuds, 1, 2, 3, flash and fresh. He's got semi-flash and he's got semi-fresh, so that will be a strikeout. The dot gave it to him in both instances. So Sabo will strike out for out number 2. And that'll bring up Winningham, and that's the 3rd strikeout for Kramer. 2-2-5. Kramer's not a star. Is the batter a slugger or a sad sack? Neither one. So he's going to single to center field. An active runner would steal, but he's semi-active. Dot says no. So Winningham will not steal, but he will get a base hit. So Winningham is actually 2 for 2. And now it's Barry Larkin. Larkin is 0 for 2. He's a designated hot player for this game, but he hasn't played like it. He's hit into a double play, and he's flied to left. 4.66. Back to the control feature. He doesn't have it. Is the batter a home run king or a slugger? Neither one. So it's a difficult ground ball. Infielder by choice. We'll just say it's grounded to second, and leaned will make the play to end the inning. So we go to the bottom of the 5th, still 1-0. Tight nip and tuck ball game. Red's got a run in the 1st, and it's held up since. Here is Don Slaught. 3.66. He's not a pinch hitter, so that's going to be a fly to center. 1 away for Jose Leaned. 3.46. Pitcher is blank. Is Jose Leaned eager? He's semi-eager. The dot says he is, so he's going to fly to center. He will not walk. He was over anxious again. 2 down, and the pitcher Kramer, the batter. Kramer has all the typical pitcher hitting qualities that aren't good. 2.46, and that's a control check, I do believe. And he doesn't have it because the dot's not there. Eager or sad sack, he is both. So he's going to pop it up to 3rd. And that's going to end the inning. So we go to the 6th. It's still 1-0. Pitching duel here in Pittsburgh. And after that 22-run game this morning, I'm ready for a pitching duel. All right, here is Benzinger. 1-3-3. Blank for the pitcher. Is the batter a slugger? He is a semi-scrapper, not a slugger. So he will fly to left. Slugger would hit a home run, but he's a semi-scrapper, not much power, so he just flies to left. 1 down for O'Neill. 1.46. Does the pitcher have flash? He's got semi-flash, but the dot says no. Batter a champion. No, he's not a champion. So we're going to have a ground out to second. And that is out number 2 for Mariano Duncan. So the Reds can't seem to solve Kramer either. 5-6-6. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is the batter a good eye? No. It's a strikeout, and that's going to end the inning. That is strikeout number 4 for Kramer. And it ends the inning. That result is in blue, so we're going to the right now chart for the first at bat of the bottom of the 6th. That 5-6-6 result, that is in blue. That sends us to the right now chart. And Backman is your batter. And his previous at bat, he grounded out, so he is neutral. Rijo, in his last at bat, he got Kramer to pop to third, so he is neutral. So it's neutral pitcher against neutral batter on the right now chart. And it's a 66. Boy, that's terrible. Hot batter. No, he's not a hot batter. If he was, it'd be a home run. Otherwise, it's a drive fence. So it's still a chance to be a home run because it's a fence check. Fortunately for them, Backman's a scrapper, no power. So he can't hit a home run, but he can certainly get some extra base hits. So on the fence check under scrapper, we roll 1d6. A 1, 2, or 3, or 4, it's a single. 5 is a double. 6 is a triple. And that's a 1, so it's a single for Wally Backman. So fortunately for Rijo, that result came up with a batter with no power. And now that brings up Jay Bell. 1, 2, 4, control quality. He's got the control quality. The dot is there. So that's a control check. He does have it. And that's a ground ball. Too short. And with a lead die of 1, it's a double play. So it's going to go 6-4-3. Pitcher's best friend. 2 quick outs. And we go over to Van Slyke. Whoa, triple 5s for Van Slyke. That's not good for the pitcher. Ace or star, he is a semi-ace. That's good enough. That falls in between. So that will be a deep fly to right. It would have been a home run otherwise. Deep fly to right ends the inning. When you have a semi-ace, it falls in between the ace and the star. So when it asks for ace or star, semi-ace qualifies. That's in the rule book. It's not a homebrew. That's in the rule book. So Rijo gets out of it. Warning track power on that at bat from Van Slyke. We go to the 7th. Still 1-0. Now Kramer loses all freshness because he has given up a run, whereas Rijo will retain semi-freshness because he's pitching a shutout. So Hatcher is your batter. They're going to stick with Kramer. Why not? He's pitching well. 2-2-4. That's the pitching at home result, and that's a pop out to short. So there's your home field advantage right there. Pop out to short. That's the home cooking. That's the one roll that gives the home team the advantage is a 2-2-4. So here's Oliver. 3-3-5. Is the pitcher wild? No. Is he a sad sack? Oliver's not a sad sack. So he's going to single to right, and he'll steal unless he's stoic. He is semi-stoic, the Saturday says he is, so it will not be a steal, but it will be a single for Joe Oliver. 1 out single for Oliver. And that will bring up Rijo. There's 1 out already, so they're not going to have him bunt. They're just going to swing away. 2-3-6, double control. He doesn't have it, but Rijo is eager, so it's a 2-ball count. Try again with a 2-ball count. That's a 1-3-6. He's not an ace pitcher. Is the batter whiffer or cold? Rijo is neither one. So we have infield drama. First time for the infield drama. This is for the Pirates on the infield drama. And on their infield, Backman is semi-iron. Bream is semi-gold. And now they're both iron and gold respectively. 45 on the infield drama. Shortstop iron. No, Jay Bell is not an iron shortstop. If he was, he'd bobble it for an error. Otherwise, bobble ball, but on time throw to first to throw the batter out. But Oliver will take second base because the only play after he bobbled it was to throw to first. 6-3 ground out. So it acted pretty much like a pseudo sacrifice bunt. But now 2 outs in the clutch situation for Chris Sabo. That's a 2-2-5. 2-2-5 on the main chart. Is the pitcher a star? No, he's a workman. Slugger or sad sack? Neither one. So Sabo will single to center field. Active runner with steal. He is semi-active, so he's going to single and steal second base. Oliver, with the lead die of 2, only gets the 1 base. Even with 2 outs, you only get the 1 base. So it will not score the run, but Sabo will steal second base to put runners at second and third with 2 outs for Herm Winningham, who's already got 2 hits. And that's going to be it for Kramer. They're going to pull Kramer, and they're going to opt for a left-hander out of the bullpen. So Kramer's day is done. Randy Cosmo Kramer, his day is done. And the Pirates will go to a lefty out of the bullpen. Left-hander out of their bullpen. And it will be Bob Patterson. Patterson will be coming on in relief of Kramer. And we'll get the totals on Kramer after the inning is over because he is responsible for both runners. We do know he's going to go 6 2/3 innings. And he's going to give up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 hits. 1 run, but he's responsible for both of these. He walks 1, 2, just the 2 walks. And he struck out 4. So now Patterson enters, and he is an ace this at bat. He gains the ace quality because he comes in mid-inning. So whenever you come in mid-inning, you gain the ace quality. So he's an ace and a star in this at bat. Winningham is your batter. He is 2 for 2, but now he's got to face a lefty. That's a 1-5-5. Is he a home run king? No, he is not. So he will fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So the Reds failed to come across with any runs, so we close the book on Kramer. He only gives up the 1 run. We are now at the 7th inning stretch here in Pittsburgh with the score remaining. Cincinnati 1 and Pittsburgh nothing. And we're going along so fast, I'm not even going to do a 7th inning stretch. I'm just going to keep going here. And hello, Kenyon. Good to see you. Since Rijo is pitching a shutout, he will remain semi-fresh for that much longer. So he remains semi-fresh facing Bonilla. That is a 2-2-6, and that's a hit by pitch. The desired die says he is hit by the pitch, so Bonilla gets plunked to lead off the inning, not what Rijo was looking for. Rijo is not happy, neither is Bonilla for that matter. He's aboard for Barry Bonds. That's a 1-3-4. Gold catcher, no, he's not a gold catcher. Is he a champion? No, he's not a champion. We have outfield drama for the Reds. And in their outfield, all 3 outfielders are neutral. Not iron, not gold. Outfield drama, 2-5. 2-5, center fielder iron, no. Winningham's not iron. If he was, it would be a double. Otherwise, it's a catch on a looping liner. So the fact that he wasn't iron saves him a double. Makes the catch, 1 away. Bonds is retired. Here is Sid Bream. (2-5-6). Back to the regular chart on a 2-5-6. Ask, is the pitcher a struggler? No, he's not. Champion or patient? Neither one. So now we have infield drama for the Reds. And in the infield, Duncan is semi-iron. Everybody else is neutral. Now Duncan will be iron. So second base is iron. Everybody else is neutral. And we get a 3-3 on the infield drama. Second base iron. Everybody else neutral. 3-3 pitcher iron. No, Rijo is neutral. If he was iron, he would flub it for an error. Otherwise, pitcher makes throw for easy ground out. Lead die of 2. Lead die of 2 is the fielder's choice. So Bonilla will be out at second. Rijo makes the play 1-6. And reaching on the fielder's choice is Breen, but now there are 2 outs. And we are looking at Don Slaught. That's a 4-4-5, back to the normal chart, or regular chart, whatever you want to call it. 4-4-5. This pitcher, is he a workman? No, he's not a workman. Is the batter patient? Slaught is not patient. He will ground to first, and that will end the inning. So 7 innings are in the books, and it's still 1-0 favor of Cincinnati. And Rijo retained semi-freshness because he still got the shutout going. Now, if we go to the 9th, we have to roll the decider die to see if he keeps semi-freshness. If he gets the blank, then he loses freshness. But he has to keep the shutout going for 1 more inning. Right now, 2nd inning of work technically for Patterson, because he did, even though he only faced 1 batter his last time up, he is in his 2nd inning of work. We've rolled over an inning, so now he is no longer fresh. He is semi-fresh. So Winningham made the last out, so Barry Larkin will step up. Top of the 8th, 1-0. 3-5-6 is a left-right split chance, and Larkin's a righty. Patterson's a lefty, so that's a base hit. 2nd time that's come up for the Reds. O'Neill did the same thing earlier. So Larkin will reach on that left-right split. Base hit, and here comes Benzinger. That's a 3-5-5. Is the pitcher a struggler? No. Is the batter a champion? No, he's not. It's a ground out to second unless he's a whiffer. He is going to be a whiffer this time. The dot is there, so he strikes out. So Benzinger out on strikes, and here's O'Neill. And now the Pirate bullpen loosening again. They got a right-hander loosening in their bullpen. Ted Power. Ted Power, a right-hander, is loosening in the Pirate bullpen just in case they want to bring him in to face a righty in this inning. Right now it's O'Neill, lefty on lefty. 2-5-6. Didn't get to 3-5-6. We got 2-5-6. Struggling pitcher. Patterson is not a struggler. Champion or patient for O'Neill, neither one. So we have infield drama for the Pirates. And now all infielders are neutral. Infield drama, everybody neutral. We get a 56. First baseman gold. No, he's not. If he was, he would leaping grab, poor throw from infielder out at first, but he's not. So it's going to be a ball that sails over his head for an error. Now, who made the error? Who made that throwing error? It can't be the first baseman. He can't throw it to himself. It's going to be the second baseman. So an error on Jose Leaned will put runners at first and second. Slaught backed it up so they couldn't get the extra base, but it will be a 1-base error. E4 on Jose Leaned. And now 2 are on with only 1 out. Mariano Duncan is your batter. And the Pirates are going to make that move to the bullpen for Ted Power. So Power will come on, and he will gain the ace quality because, again, he's coming in mid-inning. So he will gain the ace quality. Patterson is going to go 2/3 of an inning. He's going to give up a hit, nothing else. But he is responsible for both runners on base. So Power coming on, and he is an ace this first at bat against Duncan. Hello, Midlife. Hardwood, good to see you again. Power to Duncan. 1-1-6, and he gains the ace quality, and sure enough, well, actually, the 1-1-6 is not the ace quality. It's a freshness check. Well, he just came in the game, so he's definitely fresh. It's a strikeout. Strikes out Duncan for out number 2. And that'll bring up Billy Hatcher. Now the ace quality is gone for Power. He's back to his normal self. 1-1-4. It's fresh check again. And again, he's still fresh, so it's a ground out to short. And it's going to end the inning. So Power comes in and gets Patterson out of the jam. Patterson comes away with no runs allowed. We go to the bottom of the 8th. Still 1-0 Cincinnati. That run in the first has held up. Came in late. Sabo led off the game with a double. A wild pitch sent him to third base. A walk to Winningham. The next batter put runners in the corners with nobody out, and Barry Larkin hit into a double play, but that double play scored the run. And that's been the only run of the game. It has held up since then. Rijo still semi-fresh because he's got the shutout going. It'll be leaned, a pinch hitter for Power. And it looks like Bill Landrum will come in and pitch for the Pirates in the 9th. So Power actually is only go 2/3 of an inning, but he didn't give up anything, got a strikeout. So he did his job holding the fort. So it'll be leaned and a pinch hitter for Kramer. For Power. Rijo to lean, 2-3-6, double control. He does not have it. He's semi-eager, but the sire die says no, so leaned will officially draw the walk. So leadoff walk to leaned, and now we got a pinch hitter coming up for the pitcher. We'll see who wants to come up for the Pirates. Who does Leland bring up? Do they have a lefty on the bench? They got some switch hitters. No lefties, but some switch hitters. Really, LaValliere, backup catcher. Let's see. They could use, their bench is just not very good. Except for King, who's a slugger. And who do they bring in? They're going to bring in a switch hitter and outfielder, R.J. Reynolds. He will come on and pinch hit. He will pinch hit for Power here in the 8th inning. The Red bullpen is loosening. Loosening in the Reds bullpen is going to be Rob Dibble. All right. Here is the pitch to the pinch hitter, Reynolds. 1-1-4. Is he fresh? Yes, he is semi-fresh. The dot gives it to him. And that's a ground out to short. Lead die of 1. It's a double play. 6-4-3. Reds defense does it again. Rijo induces the double play. 2 out, space is clear for Wally Backman. Now Dibble is set down, and Randy Myers is loosening to come in the 9th. Backman, 2-4-4. 2-4-4. Is he an ace? He's a semi-ace. The dot gives it to him. It's a fly to center, and that's going to end the inning. So Rijo still pitching the shutout, leads it 1-0. As we go to the 9th, we'll talk about a contrast to the morning's game when it was like 22 to whatever it was. So Bill Landrum, Bill 1F by Landrum, 2F by C, he is going to be the new pitcher for the Pirates. He does not gain the ace quality because he's coming in at the start of an inning, but he is an ace already. And it'll be Oliver, a pinch hitter for Rijo, as Rijo's day is done. Pinch hitter for Rijo. Looks like Hal Morris has picked up a bat and will hit. So it's going to be Oliver, Morris, and Sabo due up for the Reds here in the top of the 9th. I did not know that, Chuck. Winston. Wonder why they called him Winston, or why they called the bat Winston. Don't know the origin on that. So Landrum to Oliver, and it's a 3-5-6. It's a lefty-righty split this time, but it's righty versus righty, so we got a Circle K strikeout to start the 9th, and that is the 3rd time that 3-5-6 roll has come up. So that's the 3rd time the left-right split has been invoked. So it's officially 3 times more than APA Basic, or Strat Basic for that matter. All right, so here is Hal Morris pinch hitting for the Reds here in the 9th inning. Randy Myers is loosening the pen. He will come in the 9th to try to close the deal for the Reds. Morris, 1-2-6. It's a freshness check. He's definitely fresh, so it's a line out to second for out number 2. 2 down very quickly. And that brings up Sabo. 3-5-6. That's a left-right split again for the fourth time. It comes up another Circle K strikeout, and Landrum sets down the Reds in order very easily. We go to the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Pirates. They're going to have to do it against Randy Myers, the closer. Close the book on Rijo. Let me get the totals on Rijo. He goes 8 innings. He is going to give up 1, 2. I've got him for just 2 hits. He's throwing a 2-hitter. He walks 1, 2, 3, 4. He walked 4 and hit a batter. Gave up no runs, and he ends up striking out 6. So the final line on Rijo, 8 innings pitched, 2 hits, no runs, 4 walks, 6 strikeouts. And that's what the score sheet looks like going into the bottom of the ninth. Last chance for the Pirates as they trail it 1-0. It'll be Jay Bell, Andy Van Slyke, and Bobby Bonilla due up against Randy Myers. Bottom of the ninth, 1-0 Reds. 3-6-6. Bell is not a pinch hitter, so it's going to be a fly out to center field, 1 down. 1 away, and that brings up Van Slyke. Lefty on lefty, 4-5-5. Does the pitcher have flash? You better believe he has flash. That's a strikeout. 2 down. Last chance. It will be Bobby Bowe, $1 million man, without Virgil. Everybody's got a price. 2-3-5. Is pitcher wild? No, he's not. Is he eager? He is semi-eager. Dot says he is, so it's a single through short unless he's a whiffer. He's a semi-whiffer. The dot says he is, so he will strike out, and that's the ball game. Randy Myers closes the deal, earns the save, goes 1 inning, gives up nothing, strikes out 2, and a very rare 1990 pitching duel ends 1-0. Favor of Cincinnati. Landrum in the ninth pitched 1 inning, gave up nothing, struck out 2. So for the Reds, 1 run on 8 hits and no errors. And let's see how many left on base. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. The Reds left 9 on base. Pirates, no runs, 2 hits, no errors. 1, 2, 3, 4. They left 4 on base. Winning pitcher is Jose Rijo. He improves to 5-0 on the replay. Kramer takes the loss. I don't have a record on Kramer because we're only worried about the Reds. And for Randy Myers, Myers collects save number 8. He's got his 8th save of the season. Reds now improve to 17-8 after 25 games. And they will move back to Cincinnati. The road trip is finally over for them. They'll be heading back to Cincinnati to take on the Chicago Cubs. They'll start a series with the Cubs. That will be their next opponent in this replay, as the Reds finally going to go back to their home cooking and see how that goes for them. So let me see who the matchup is in Cincinnati for that game. And I think it's a 3-game series, but I'll double check it. Pull up their schedule for the Reds and also see what they were doing in real world at this point. At this point, the Reds were 19-6 real world. So we're 17-8. We're not 19-6. Let me check this here. 5-10. Yeah, they were 19-6 after 25 games, 17-8. So I'm 2 games back. I'm 2 games off the pace. They were 19-6. We are 17-8. So not too bad. But now they go home to face the Cubs for 3, the Pirates for 2, and the Cardinals for 4. So nice little homestand. First game against the Cubs, it will be some guy named Greg Maddux. You ever heard of him? He's going to get the start for the Cubs against Scott Scudder. And we saw what happened to Scudder in his first outing as a starter. He got thrashed. So that matchup definitely going to favor the Cubs. Maddux against Scudder. Not looking forward to that one too much. Then the second game is Browning against Bilecki. And the final game of the series will be Harkey against Ron Robinson. But Greg Maddux will be pitching the opener in Cincinnati against young Scott Scudder. And Reds will see what they can do with that, but might have a tough time against Mr. Maddux. We shall see. So that's going to do it from here. Appreciate all of you tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and put this game in the computer now, Strat computer now. Shouldn't take long because there's not many runs to record. So it should be a pretty simple direct entry to get this out of the way and done with. And next game on the channel will be Stratomatic. Back to Stratomatic. It will be Texas and Toronto. That'll be Tuesday night. I'm taking Monday night off. I usually take Monday nights off most of the time. So Monday night, I will have an off day. And Tuesday night, it will be Texas and Toronto. Ed Correa against Jim Clancy, Stratomatic Super Advanced 1987. And then probably on Wednesday, I'm thinking on Wednesday, maybe Thursday, the final season ticket exhibition game will be from Oakland. It'll be the Seattle Mariners taking on the Oakland A's 1978 exhibition game. Oakland and Seattle. And then this coming Saturday, we're ready for opening day. Yankees in Texas from Arlington. Ron Guidry against John Matlack. So that's going to do it from here. Thank you all for spending part of your Sunday evening with me. And for those, if you go to bed early, then thank you for staying up late. It's getting close to my bedtime, but not quite there yet. But we're getting close. So that's going to do it from here. Reds win. Reds win. Or as a famous announcer once said, this one belongs to the Reds. They are now 17-8, and they're going back home. They're going home, and they're going to face Greg Maddux. So good news is you're going home. The bad news is you got to face Greg Maddux. But, hey, you got to face him at some point. So as Tabby would say, good night, everybody. Stay safe and enjoy playing whatever game you choose to play, however you choose to play it. And I will see you all down the road.